Hi, hello everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Tinkle Meets A Dash. Today, Tinkle is meeting a ventriloquist. Ventriloquist. I got it right the first time. Ventriloquist, yes. And I'm very excited because I've seen her perform and she's super funny. But first, what is Tinkle Meets A Dash? So Tinkle Meets A Dash, if you guys have been watching along, is essentially a show where the Tinkle team, that's me and Devika Soni, who is the producer of the show. She's finally been given a designation. We basically sit down with people from various walks of life, figure out how they landed up in the careers they're in right now, what their journey's been like so far, and why it is okay to not have everything figured out when you are 14 years old. And like I said, today we're meeting a puppet master. She makes inanimate objects talk. I'm going to stop talking now and hand the floor over to her. So give it up with a huge round of applause for Seema Golchha. Yay! Seema, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Priya and Devika?
Personally, I'm very, very excited to be sitting down with you and doing this thing because how often do you meet a ventriloquist, right?
I know, right? And I was super excited because how often do you get to talk to Tinkle?
So, let's get right into it. What does a ventriloquist do?
Haha, this is what he does. Seashells on the seashell.
That's it.
That was who said that? That was
I
cool,
did
right?
that.
Yeah. So
That is it. That is what ventriloquism is all about.
well, this is so cool. So how did you even think of this as, okay, this is what I'm going to do as a career? It's such an unorthodox choice of like career paths.
So I had no idea what I wanted to do in life or what I wanted to be. And this is something so random, which literally actually a handful of people are doing in this entire subcontinent. So it all started with having kids. Have kids and wait for a few years, tell them bedtime stories with small hand puppets. I used to have those literally, smaller hand puppets, and I would tell them knock jokes and smaller fun things I would do with a whole lot of puppets. And from there, I decided to take it up on stage, to actually do it up for a grown-up audience, which was a huge challenge. But the first time I tried it, I knew this is what I want to do.
So the first time you did ventriloquism, it just happened? Like you were able to throw your voice? Like just...
No. I had no idea. My first attempt was in 2011, where
Okay.
I got an opportunity through Toastmasters, which is a public speaking club, and we decided to do a showcase event. So I actually ordered a mouth puppet online. It's a blue monster puppet, which is still with me, and I've been in shows literally all over the world with him.
He's your first puppet.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
His name is Jack Denials.
Jack Denials.
Yeah,
Nice.
because he's Jack and I live in denial. When I attempted that, I told my fellow Toastmasters that I'm going to try something called ventriloquism. And this is a term I literally introduced in Nepal. It was not heard of. In fact, back then, not many people knew what it was at all. And they were not sure. So they said, you do half comedy and half ventriloquism. And I knew that I am taking a huge risk of making an absolute fool of myself. Because imagine to be able to do something like this with kids, tell them stories, and to actually go up on stage. And you're not just doing the act, you're also trying to make them laugh because it's a comedy show. So there's got to be humor, there's got to be art, the technique, and you have to memorize the entire script. So those are the three huge challenges for me. And of course, the fourth biggest challenge, in fact, that was the first biggest challenge, is to stand up on stage, which was...
I would say that's the first challenge, to stand up on stage. Everything else leads from there.
That is something Toastmasters taught me, how to stand on stage and not collapse. So I was petrified of stage. I mean, I couldn't imagine even going up on stage ever. I took part in a salad making competition, and I went all out, did major research and of nutritional values of all the ingredients that I put in, and I happened to get second prize. I was instead of being super excited about it, I was suddenly really flushed out and scared, and major anxiety is what I had. And this friend of mine who was helping me, she's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh, I don't want to go up on stage. She's like, you're mad, you just have to go and get the certificate. I can't do this. And I actually did not go on stage because I would have had to say thank you.
It's you had crippling stage fright. and now you perform across the world, making inanimate objects like puppets talk to complete strangers all the time, and it's second nature. That's So when did you join Toastmasters, though, this organization?
So again, 2009, this friend of mine insisted I join it. She actually forced me to join, and I was sure when I joined that, like, when I entered one of those meetings, I was like absolutely sure that this is the place where I don't belong. I can't do this. This is not me. And why will I ever need to address an audience or talk to a crowd? Why would I need to do public speaking? So in my mind, I had decided that I will leave in 2-3 months max, because I don't even have topics to talk about, because people have traveled and done things, and here I'm a housewife, mother, and a daughter-in-law, and I didn't want to join, but since she insisted, I joined. And I had a whole lot of hours and rooms, and I blanked out on stage. There were a lot of things, but I realized that after doing that first speech, that there was a sense of power that I got in facing my fear. And this is the one thing I was challenging myself and I was doing for myself. So I stuck around. And after a year or two, I said, okay, now I can leave. Just when I was about to leave, this comedy show, the first show ever, happened. And I said, okay, this is what I want to take, because the 2-3 speeches that I had done before, I realized that all of them were humorous. So I could be a comedian. I didn't think of comedian so much, but I wanted to try ventriloquism. And I knew that either I would create history or become history, because it was a huge risk that I took, and to be able to switch voices and accents, and to be able to make the grown-ups believe that this is not really me, it's another person talking. So I have to build up this character also. So in the first show, I did make a whole lot of mistakes. I mixed up voices. There were times when the puppet's mouth opened and no voice came out, or when I'm talking and his mouth is closed. Because there's a lot going on, and I remember I forgot my script also. But in spite of all of that, I got a standing ovation. This is what I'm meant to do. And like Mark Twain said, that the 2 most important days of your life are 1, the day you were born, and 2, the day you find out why. And this was my day when I found out my why.
Wow, that's such an inspiring story, Seema. Like, so many children today have this tendency to think that they need to have everything figured out, when they're 18 by the time they graduate school. But I think you're a glaring example of how that there's no truth to that at all. I want to actually get into your childhood now, because this entire thing, you wanted to be a cartoonist. Evidently, you have this really wacky side that you've sort of kept in check because of the environment that you were growing up in. What were you like as a child? Did you do a lot of make believe? Did you put up plays and stuff like that with your sister? With your siblings? What was that like? What was Seema the child like?
So yeah, this is in second year junior college. My friends, I would not really study during exams, and whatever little bit I would, my friend would actually come and help me. We would study together so that she won't study. And in one occasion, I got more marks than this friend, so she got really angry with me, because that means you studied when I was not around. And I said, no, I really didn't. I am sorry, but I don't know how I got that. And then there were times when I flunked in 2 exams. You have this something called ATKT, and I treated my friends to ice cream. And here I am, failed in 2 exams, and my friends who cleared. In fact, they've got 70 and above, and that time 70% was huge.
Yeah.
They've all got 70 and above in their respective exams, and here I am with 2 ATKTs treating everyone to ice cream. So I was in the ice cream parlor, and there were other people also celebrating and treating who got above 80 and all that. And when they asked me my score, they were like, what is wrong with, why are you treating, you should be feeling bad.
Why were you treating them though? You were happy for them?
No, the thing is, I was expecting in my mind to fail in 4, the entire year.
How many puppets do you have right now, in your stable?
I could have, I don't know, 20, 30.
This is crazy. So, do you have a puppet with us?
So I have a friend right here. Oh, wait, I'm just gonna get him out. Make some noise for Darwin.
Yay! Darwin, that's such a cool name. Where did you get the name Darwin from?
Why is your name Darwin?
Because डर के आगे जीत है. Darwin.
Oh my god!
Oh dear.
Amazing, Darwin. You have an amazing sense of humor, buddy.
Now he gets it.
This is totally like, so Devika is our resident jokester, right? In the group, like she's constantly coming up with the worst jokes possible.
She's
Good.
the weaker, you are the stronger.
Oh, Surya, why would you do that?
I'm just saying, like, you can learn something or two from Darwin.
Or Darwin can just supply me with unlimited jokes and then I will be the best joker ever.
No, but you are the weaker and he is the stronger.
It's not Devika, it's Devika.
Same thing.
Okay then, Darwin, sure.
Oh my god, so how long has Darwin been with you, Seema?
About 5-6 years.
Huh?
5-6
Really
years?
that long?
Yeah, actually, I think so. I'm not so sure.
You know, two things happen after you get old.
What are you saying? Can you just be clear?
You have to be clear for that.
Yeah, okay.
Darwin, how old are you right now?
Does he really want to know? I am very old.
Very
that
old, as in, like, were you around since like evolution like started? Like, were you around then?
Yeah, but I don't want to evolve.
Why don't you want to evolve?
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you want to evolve?
I don't want to be like you guys.
Oh,
Hate it. I'd rather be a monkey. I want to be a monkey.
What's your average day like, Darwin? What do you do?
I just monkey around.
Do you have monkey business that you go to? Like,
That's none of your business. It's a monkey business.
oh my god. I love Darwin. I love
Darwin
Darwin.
is the best.
I love you.
I love you too.
Yes.
Oh.
Can I go inside? Can I go?
No, you can't go in the screen.
Oh, okay. Next.
Where do you stop and where does the character start? Like, how do you even keep track of like who's talking, what's happening?
Can I just leave him behind?
What? You want to leave me?
Yeah, I want to.
Don't.
Okay, Darwin, bye. We'll see you later.
Bye.
It's a lot of work, and that's why I'm talking so much nonsense also. And there are times when people have told me that I am a lot nervous on stage as compared to my character. My character is very confident.
Is there a process though? Like, is there a method? Like, I mean,
So Jack is allowed to be as mean as possible. And
Yeah.
the thing is, because of his cuteness, he can get away with anything. He's told people in the audience to get out. He has called them ugly. He tells them anything. He's hitting on girls. He's like really rude and crude and mean. And people don't mind it. Somehow it's working. And what happens is when on stage, I tell him, Jack, behave yourself. This is not what you do. And then
Yeah.
again he goes back into something. I say, no, don't. So I'm still the good guy. So I play the good cop, bad cop at the same time. And for me, I have to keep switching that, mindset.
that you are because you are good cop and bad cop at the same time. Like, it's not a different person, right? Where do you find inspiration for these characters though? Is Jack based on someone? Is Darwin based on someone, for example?
Because he's a monkey, I have gotten him into moving around too much, and he's just fidgety, and he's pulling my hair, and he's doing a lot of fun things. Yeah. And so whatever he does, even if he looks there or if he looks here, and it's fun. So this is one character that I'm still working on. Then
Okay.
I have a dog, I have a crocodile, I have a heart talking, I have these dinky puppets. So I don't have so many voices. I really don't. So it's difficult. And also the accent also has to change, just so that you believe it even more. That it's a different person and not me, and it's a different character.
If there are, for our audience out there who's watching right now, if they want to be a ventriloquist, where do they even begin? Like, how do you start? Like, I mean, explaining, throwing your voice, like, what is Do you have any tips for budding ventriloquists out there?
Firstly, believe that you can do it. You have to try and try and try. How do you try? First, you find a different voice inside you. Yeah? Just try it, Kuriya and Devika, this is your homework. Find a different voice. Now, this voice has to also have a different accent, whichever you're most comfortable with. Somehow my Jack Denial character has an English accent, kind of English. I don't know how. And I'm supposed to have the Indian accent, so again, so accent also has to change. So when you're practicing this other voice, and try the accent along with it, so that it becomes a package, not like you're trying different. Once you have this voice and accent, then you start talking without moving your lips. You practice that. Don't try hands and all, don't try puppets at all. First, just this initial basic things you try where you are talking without moving your lips. Now, if you go through the entire alphabet, you'll find that most of them are doable without moving your lips. Like A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, so you can do that without moving your lips. So B, I didn't say B.
No.
Because B, you have to join your lips.
Yeah. P.
E, M.
M. Yeah, I was gonna come to that. Like M. How do you do an M? Like it's.
So then there are these F, V, W, and FVW.
X you can do.
Yeah, X is okay, it's doable. But when you say what, so when you have to roll your mouth. So there are tricks to go about that, and all these tricks you can learn. You'll find it on YouTube.
When you start practicing, do you do it with your mouth open, like with your teeth touching, or do you keep your lips like shut, like?
No, you can't keep your lips shut. It has to be a little open. So sometimes it looks like you're smiling, and it's just a little bit. And then what you have to do is, what I did was any book that I got, I would just read things without moving my lips. I would try. Even if it's a bottle of shampoo and I'm just trying to, in the shower.
That's a great tip. Like whatever you see, just like practice on whatever you see, like whatever words you see around you, right?
With that different...
with the voice and the accent and intonation.
Yes. Because you have to do it together. Otherwise, if you have the voice, then again to train yourself to get into that accent and that
becomes
yeah. So then I know that this other voice of me is always in a different accent and cannot speak without moving the lips. And then you have to train your hand to talk like that. When you're talking without moving your lips, the mouth has to move. So this has to look real. And in a couple of my shows, for a minute, I've actually done 2 puppets, and so which means 3 voices and 3 accents at the same time. It was crazy. It was like made just dimag ka dahi, but it was so much fun. I was able to pull it off.
So you practice with one accent and you practice with this one character. So every time you come up, and you told me you have like 30 odd characters that you've done.
I haven't got them on stage. I just because some puppets which I've ordered, on screen they look really small and fun to play around with, but when they actually come, they're like huge and heavy. So to hold on to that puppet, if I don't have a stand, it's tiring and wrist hurts. It's not everything. There's so much going on. If I'm doing a half an hour ventriloquism show, I have to rest my hand. Otherwise, I prefer working with these lighter puppets instead of those really heavier ones, which are also the movement in the mouth. Like if it is made out of cloth, it's easier to move.
And it'll move the way you want it to move.
This is like latex thing, so it's a little tighter and it is taxing on the wrist. Thing is, if you've noticed, a lot of these professional ventriloquists, they have these puppets which have a cut here, and they're really scary. I myself am scared of those kind of puppets. If you see them,
the old school ventriloquists, the dummies used to actually have like that moving, the nutcracker jaw, it's called.
Yeah, exactly, and they have a lever inside.
Yeah.
It's not like you put the hand right straight up to the mouth. So you have to work with it. Even then, it becomes heavier also.
Yeah.
There's a lever. There's so much happening inside, and that is something I couldn't. I tried to do those. Granny is something like who could look scary at night if you see her. Like I've actually done that. Made her sit in my chair in the office chair, and my son has walked in and he got to start with, "Mom, what's wrong with you? What are you doing?"
Did you have what were your favorite subjects when you were in school though?
I said like art and cartooning.
The cartooning, so you actively had like doodles and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. All my school books, last few pages were full of doodles and cartoons and scribbles, and tried to caricature my teachers.
So there was, I mean, there was definitely some element of your brain that was creating characters, and like maybe you weren't writing them out, but you were visualizing them.
The trick is to keep at it.
Yeah.
In spite of all what the world has to say or the discouragement, so you just keep at it, keep doing, and keep enjoying it.
I do want to know, who's the latest to join your stable? Do you puppet plays? Who's your newest character?
Our very own prehistoric character.
Oh.
Meet Dinu.
My name?
Yes, that is your name.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm talking to my friends on the computer.
You're talking to the computer?
Oh, I am wise and she is otherwise.
Wow.
I see the sense of humor is the same though.
Yeah.
Look, I got a tail. At the end of the day, sense of humor is mine. What? That's yours? Yeah, I thought this was me.
Oh my god, it's so unreal. I really feel like I'm talking to somebody else, and it's just
Like me? Yes, she does like you. Oh.
So Dinu, where are you from, Dinu?
I am from the prehistoric times.
Is there a year in place? Is it BC, AD, BCE?
BC is before Corona? No, that's not.
Very smart.
For someone from the prehistoric times, he's very updated.
Yeah.
Instagram stories before Corona. How are you liking this age that we're living in?
This is not a good age.
Well, I mean, neither was yours. You guys all died from the meteor strike, no? Back in the day.
I'm still alive, aren't I? Yes,
That's
you
true.
are.
That's true. You have survived that. So you'll survive this also then.
That is true.
Oh my God! Thank you so much, Dino, for coming and gracing us with your
gigantic presence.
Okay, I will see you guys later. Okay, you don't have to go so close. Alright.
Alright, see you, Dino. Bye.
Bye bye.
So that brings us to the end of our episode. Tinkle met a ventriloquist, and Tinkle is completely awed by the ventriloquist that we just met. Devika, you will agree?
100%.
This is such a great episode. This was. Do stay tuned for more episodes of Tinkle Meets A Dash. If you like this episode, please tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, to this video. My name is Achachan, and I'm here with Seema and Devika. You guys have been a wonderful audience. So take care. Bye-bye.